Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Marvel's Secret Invasion, Season 1, Episode 1. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start with furry, unless you consider the Skrulls as furry, then there isn't any. So, maybe some dogs barking. What's with the dogs always barking? Moving on. So, this is a TV show starring Samuel L. Jackson and the memorable character from Rogue One, the bad guy from it. He also played, the memorable Skrull from the Captain Marvel movie. So he's in it. Ben Mendelsohn, I believe is his name. He was also in the Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx Robin Hood, which, by the way, underrated movie. You should check that movie out. And essentially the storyline is we're in current-ish day Marvel. Actually, that even says, current day or whatever. And it essentially there's the fraction of the Skrulls that with Fury's character that are aligned with him and trying to find a new home, and then there's another faction of Skrulls that are tired of trying to find their own planet and they want this to be their planet. At least that's what's been attributed as their motive. So yeah, that's the storyline. So I want to start off by saying that I don't think anyone should watch this show, because I was told, and I looked into the IMDb trivia, and apparently the title sequence of this show was made using AI, so machine learning technology, not actual artists, or at least not with their permission, and that Disney's reason for that is they wanted to have an otherworldly and something somewhat just off, an inhuman way of saying it, blah blah blah. Go fuck yourself, Disney. You're telling me that all the artists in all the world and all the land can't make something otherworldly? You do realize half your fucking movies are set on other worlds, right? Like that humans have been making otherworldly movies and things that just seem off from humanity since the fucking Twilight Zone. Yeah, and since before the Twilight Zone, but like the Twilight Zone, the original black and white shit, like that was some otherworldly shit. You mean to tell me that you couldn't find an artist to do this for you? Shut the fuck up. You're just being cheap bastards. So fuck you and fuck this show. No one should watch it just to teach you a lesson. And they pay attention to watch minutes. I watched this first episode before I really knew about that, and then I was like, oh, well. So I don't think anyone should watch that. On top of that, I've been hearing about Secret Invasion for years, but hadn't seen any movie trailers for it. So I just thought that it was coming out in 2024 or 25 or whatever, just not now. And then all of a sudden I saw, I don't know if it was a tweet or another video or something about the Secret Invasion coming out, and I was like, what? It's out. So I don't know if my ad block is just that good or what, but I hadn't known that it was coming out, nor did I realize that it was a TV show, not a movie. So, yeah, they have some of the problems with a with a TV show. To start off with, the Skrulls, even when they're by themselves, are always in human form, and they give a throwaway line explanation of oh, even when we're here all by ourselves and there's no one around for miles and miles and miles, we stay in our human form so that we can pass as humans for, when we need to pass as humans. Yep, definitely has nothing to do with budget or CGI or makeup budgets or trying to get, people to tell the difference between every actor being green-headed with massive amounts of makeup on. Definitely not that. Nope, definitely not that. So, yeah. You do get to see a little bit of how strong the Skrulls are, so that's kind of fun. And Colby Smulders makes an appearance, Agent Hill, and the thing is that we've been seeing hints of where Fury's at over Spider-Man Far From Home and some other ones, and then there was if you've seen the trailer for whatever the Captain Marvel movie is, he's out there in space for whatever reason, and so he's coming back here from space doing whatever's happening up at Saber. I don't know. I don't remember. I think Saber was mentioned during the WandaVision show about we had S.H.I.E.L.D. and that was infiltrated by a bunch of, Hydra, so we made Saber, and that's definitely not going to be infiltrated. And so Fury's up doing Saber things, whatever those are, and it's just, I feel like this show is not going to matter because we've been getting hints of Fury being up in space, and I feel like by the end of this show, he's going to be back in space. The other thing is that Captain Marvel was set as the, after Captain America, but before basically any of the other Avenger shows, like it was, I think, 1995, because it made a bunch of blockbuster type jokes. So that time frame, and so that's when we find out that the Skrulls are looking for a home, but they're going to be here on our planet. And so it's been, 30, 40 years? Why has it taken you so long, bro? You have Captain Marvel, didn't she go off with a bunch of them to go find a home? Why are we still having this discussion? Why is this still a thing? And why are you guys not happy? And now that, the Avengers and Thanos and all the Chitauri and all that jazz have been revealed, why can't the Skrulls be like, oh, hey, by the way, we're here too? And then, you have the problem of a show like this is that, how are you going to be able to have any trust in anybody about anything ever with people that don't have to touch you to become you and get your at least recent memories, if I recall correctly, from the previous edition of the Skrulls, is that they can't get long-term memory, but they can get short-term memory? How? Because you're going to run out of long-term memory of things, or is your thoughts about your long-term memories going to be in your recent memory, so they're going to get that too? It becomes an impossible thing to the point where it's sort of like the changelings from Deep Space Nine, when they had all the Starfleet security officers and around Ben Sisko's place, and they were just, interrogating everyone and doing blood samples every day and phaser walling all of the corridors and whatnot. At some point, you're just gonna have to come to terms with you can't fight shapeshifters, just like you can't fight changelings or these Skrull that can turn into you and your memories, your recent ones. Which, if you were thinking of your passwords and shit for your computer, boom, they have that too, right? It seems impossible that they're going to be able to do this. And the reasoning behind it, so far, A, you shouldn't watch it because of the AI. B, it's not a great show. C, I don't think it'll matter. And yeah, so 2 thumbs down, but now I'm going to get into spoiler territory for this first episode, which, it's, 6, 8, 10 episodes, however long it's going to be. Overall, it's probably not a spoiler for the whole show, but it's definitely a spoiler for episode 1. So spoiler alert, okay? So, at the end of the episode, Agent Hill gets shot by a Skrull pretending to be Samuel L. Jackson, once in, the stomach, and then she collapses, and there's not even a huge amount of blood. I don't know if it's just because of a rating thing, but, for all appearances, it looks like she died. It looked like Samuel L. Jackson, leaned over and listened to, and then just, stood up, wasn't applying any pressure to her wound. So, A, how does one shot kill her? Because she's been shown to be, a badass motherfucker. Not quite to, Scarlett Johansson's character of Black Widow of badassness, but pretty fucking badass. She has kicked ass a lot for years. And you're telling me that one shot to the stomach, which historically, especially to hero characters, and I believe in real life possibly, I don't know, but stomach wounds, stomach shots, generally aren't instant kills. Maybe you'll eventually die. Maybe, you just depending on, how things need to be. Oh, it hit a blood vessel and she was bleeding out internally, blah, blah. But, near insta-kill, it's either incredibly stupid that they bring her in for the first time in, a couple movies, a couple shitty shows. They bring her in to kill her. That has, Star Trek Picard Season 1 levels of stupid. Or they're doing a fake out of a dramatic thing so that you're all sad that she's dead or dying, only to show at the start of the next episode that she's okay, she got medical assistance, she's fine, she's gonna be out of the fight for a little bit, so maybe we don't see her the rest of the season, or in fighting form, but she okay though, she gonna be alright. So then why are you giving us this false week long of agony of that one of the fan favorite characters is dead? I mean, it's not Coulson level of killing her, but it's Picard level of killing her. It's stupid. And then just the bad guys' plan, the Skrulls' plan of okay, we're gonna set off 3 dirty bombs, which apparently are small enough to fit in backpacks, and then we're gonna set them all off in the same square. Why not choose different squares? Because that I feel like would have more of an impact to be like, we're more widespread, as opposed to like, we just found this big gathering of people and, blew our stuff up. And then y'all be dumb, because of course that shit was decoys. Like, how could you not realize that was decoys? And then also, Samuel L. Jackson's character shoots a Skrull twice to kill him. Like, you saw how strong they were, and yet 2 shots, neither of which were the head, seemed to insta-kill the Skrull. And on top of that, Ben Mendelsohn's character was non-lethally fighting him to, render him no longer a threat. And he even told Fury, I think twice, that like, hey, this is my fight, and I got this, bro. Like, I'm going to handle him. And he wasn't losing terribly. Like, yeah, he'd gotten hit a couple times, but it's not like he was down and out for the count forever or anywhere near about to die. And yet Fury decided to go the lethal route. So I can understand why Ben Mendelsohn's Skrull character, wasn't willing to get helped up by Fury, because he was just like, I said no. I said I had this. Like, can you imagine if Fury just got another human, like an actual human? Like, do you think that the other, just reverse the roles of species, if you will, on a different planet? Like, that's the thing. So I think that's going to come back to bite Fury, and if it doesn't, it should, because I think he was a little too quick on the trigger, but it's Fury. And speaking of Fury, when did he decide to have either a fake eyeball or just not wear the eye patch? Because it looks like, as far as I can tell, that he had a real eyeball in this one, or at least something that's supposed to look like a real eyeball. So when did he stop wearing the patch? And then the other thing is that I don't like him with a beard. I hope he shaves it at some point, but it just does not look good. It just doesn't. Shave the beard. It's not good. Samuel L. Jackson doesn't look good with a beard. I'm just throwing that out there. Take off the beard. So, yeah, there's a lot of problems with this show that I just don't like. And I'm sure that there's other things that I'm missing of why I don't like this show, because it bugs me. So I think it's going to have some budgetary problems, like it's already shown. And yeah, so don't watch this show. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.